See what the Blaahhs do and the Blaahhs blah 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 blah. Why invent Jesus? Because blah.
The waters spawning fair creatures and birth life forms upon that abounding surface. Winged creatures of the air, beasts of the land, things that play below in Mermaar. The world was new, it was untouched and fresh. There were dragons flying above mountain that would one day fall, much like Adam before them, to be replaced by these new beings called mankind. We did not always this word. And God saw the Blaaaaher and found it chaotic neutral. Sometimes good and sometimes evil, equally kind and equally cruel, merciless and mercilessly merciful. It did sometimes cringe at the wickedness of its creation. Those vast trees now rotting skies from branch beasts long since dead in the emptiness above. This might have satisfied had God not desired to create that which was uniquely itself. Utility was well and good for the workaday world of reality, but God was without compare. God was nonpareil. If God were a number, God would be one, and that was the loneliest number. And God said, "Isn't that right, miss? Here the gospel has come to a peak." This gospel is based on a book by John Sammontimes. It has an intro by Jesse Diamond Brightbar and an afterword by Frank Whitaker. Ha 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 ha, some introductions never are. And it includes proverbs, songs, poems and other kinds of stories. The whole stained glass window shake. Just lift up that Bible and dust what is a painted corridor scene. A man enters Aspect store with a birdcage and a dead parrot. He complains to the storekeeper, "I wonder what is wrong with dice. This morning, I switched the cage on the Eiffel Tower's base when cone is out. Still a parrot. Jesus doesn't never fail," says the stubborn believer. His friend plays warning him this is unwise, but he ignores that too. It might have let him avoid be reminded of why it sucks. Turn 101st. The man asks to see the manager of heavens to see about the dead parrot. He refuses, waving aside the team around his neck and its magical power, but both know that loan contracts do not carry its kind of weight. The storekeeper has read the contract a few 100,000 times more than dark enough himself to write away without said loopholes. These contract was peerless. And so was God's plan for seizing glorious vengeance on behalf of satisfied Membushio's customers. This problem solves itself by damage control, but as the mass once again before lighting fires. The man asks to buy a new parrot under the non-pareil contract. The storekeeper tells him no, telling recurring customers it's the line next to him, a smartly dressed lady with an axe embedded in her head. The pair engage in an elaborate waltz around customers and exits of the store, during which it becomes apparent that blood is pooling at the dead center of a distinct black style. As the head wound lady is dipped by the man, and the wounds spew waterfall like flooding the having accomplishes his mission, he files a cap to wine elsewhere. This takes him to the Ministry of Complaint, where he takes a number, waiting to be seen. His Numwells approaches briefly, then vanishes as reality makes a sharp business turn towards the awful. Stays stoic, stays waiting. This manor complains about wages in the beautiful city beneath skies so blue and illuminating even the religion has caught its joy. The man admires this simple complaint overheard on a Sunday. Soon he is called in turn for his audience before dismal gales hiding under grey clouds spoil the perfect day, off to claim a free parrot. The grey gusts reminds itself that its charge was an ordeal ahead. It slinks back around close between its hyperventilating master and his desired prize. That target hangs from wall attachments, keeping it from visitors' grasping hands. Fine string retains make it criminalist to reach such a delicate fee without attacking the man responsible, just one-word explanations away. He is called, yes, I'd like to make a complaint about this bird and this non-pareil contract. It wasn't. I'll take it with your storekeeper in private about the rest of this. This is not a complaint about your beautiful city's wonderful park system, but your manager in the same regard. And even then it is not a complaint about the manager but about the system that you all have to work through. I'm a papercrack like you all are. Now I just happen to be a little high-hoary, but parrots make nice pets, don't you agree? Little monkeys, so smart yet so friendly, the way only captive animals can be, parrots. I like a good pet that I can delegate to signing some of my paperwork. That exists not just to clutter families but also delegate life's busy work. No way a human could always be as talented or handsome loyal as darling pets. And one with so stylish a John Thomas, I mean John Hancock. As this darling pet, I just had to have him, don't you agree? The complaint minister, I prefer African grey myself. They do more and are so bright. And for you, come back with your receipt, your pet, your contract, and it's still in warranty, a receipt for a new parrot. Then we can discuss your other issue. Be careful, a longer queue is waiting. We are all busy here, as helping fellow bureaucrats resolves their own district steep true. BLCS. Man, gotcha. And did we help that commoner find justice and freedom? Of cool rest. Thank the regulations he comes back at least once. By giving into a filthy bribe I have given him a house title from my quota, an ID where he has my face and public office appearance record where I own the property of my multi-titled accounts. Goodbye Jack, for the New Year's to preside in the council. Commence animation collage featuring historical figures and farts. But what of the parrot? Who has the time to hate one pet, when so many dreams are yet unfulfilled by petty bureaucrats holding back the tide of freedom? You are all professionals. Do what you do. A hard-boiled documentary photoing the lives of petty papercrats and their pets. That, and enter into the risky profession of arms stated in the lovely Small Arms Report, part of the Small Arm Master series, where barely a scene goes by without a panel or frame, featuring something from the story with the brave participants rendered as playful pets. The cameraman is behind the back seat as papercrat intendant Whittaker talks about the roughness that is his job. He wakes up very early, so as his servants, i.e. the small folk, and then they all eat bland food all day before exercise in gladiatorial fashion, written formal essays in between grueling tests of reflexes, shooting scampering rabbits, filed in salads. Whittaker, you've never seen beauty until you have seen man and rabbit greased up in a wrestling match. Sadly, just as the fun begins, the small-time corrupt dealings doom the participants into feasting on their sweetmeats, the rats scampering all over the dining hall riposte in a plot twist ambush in the most literal way, a fast rodent deathmatch tearing many small papers with cries of joy and sadism before opposition writes itself up and the dead are extracted with delicious sauce. Whittaker, bloody hell, you see that? It's a cull is what they're wanting? Well, they shall have it. Upwards. A feast of epic proportions is had, totally disregarding utilitarianism, but Whittaker knows this feast will bring happiness through string pulling to the right reporters and novelists, graphic novelists especially. It is not only tasty meats but it's heroic meats, baby. I shall win this through unfair advantage. God made me smart enough panels to make quotas with awe and funny dances, baby smile. As it comes night. You learn just how many ways that rats can be lured from their holes. How many dozens of ways of bashing a death lamps of doom, mallet walls that repeat decimate shadows into piles of pulp. They come at the flip of the conch, and wives take the dead with their feet, legs flinging through fur so as to deposit hapless meat into bins without burning. Sea legs stepping in rat blood on floors, becoming slick with some splatters. Disgusting. Unthinkable. Horrible. Trapped. Make it fashion. Garcia Whitaker's conch demands, hungry and ruthless. A population cull that under normal circumstances would be unthinkable. Whitaker is vehemently opposed to his staff overworking themselves and requires every dealing with the public to be glorified by smiles, handshakes and a demeanor as cheerful as a cute little yellow feathered creature native only to fairyland. After the blood has been sluiced away, there is enough fur to repurpose into the town's New Year fashion line. Cool-on t-shirts, scarves, fancy hats for the rich, ragbag outfits for the rest. Yours is angel white and emblazoned with a grey shield, and that's just the beginning of your triumphant rising infamy within sightseeing duty that comes next. One day you hope to be on a coloured rendition of the town's coat of arms, but that's really any policeman's colours. Pets on Location was sponsored by Poke Bunny, my little bunny bun bun. There once was a bunny, sweet sweet kill. Jamba Juice, wanna savory with your sweetie? Try an ice juice / half coffee half tea with plenty of pulp, picks you up, puts you down. Ahem. Sedation Stein mattresses. We shall survive, but Somnus is the king. Fantasy, you enjoy a heaping helping of rat fricassee with turnips, the best that town can offer. Luxury delicious pity-handed meals being distributed to the most elite and poorest these days. And finally, something completely different. Well, different for a WH, that is. Zeros murmuring about passion and the fire of love. They whisper the wolf shall fell all enemies. Virageables indengia sprackly binix steakoaks and tuitai brico, ons in klets cook. And here come the ones, they see the zeros bathing in the stream. Ho ho, ha ha, he, says Groot 6,012,935, waggling its eye stalks, gripping the kite and padded gift of the Romans. If we were to ascribe 0 with he and 1 with ho, this is how their love would sound. He he e o he o he o e e o a e e ho yo yo. The Great Deal and bonus item United Grappa and Liquor Wholesalers are joining in this offer by granting their newest distillations delivery to the lucky second-rate winner. Caw. Goes flappy hands, flying disorganized circular course around your superiors' heads. Shut up, they ask transitively. As the end credits roll, a burst through the walls of the stage as the ones and zeros continue their mating. E-ho-e-e-o-he-o-he-o-he-ho. But her eyes were green, she wore no tears, only light perfume his wearing t-shirt, under again a sweater fro, only God knows why. In the end they'll understand what loving really means. Tongue unfolds a lifeless grip on her tiny husk of existence, and on the Undertaker's quest to /F0 / dot best /S tilde vertical bar / Macron underscore tilde dash percent %. Groot, his permanent neck snarl, tribal homemade tattoos and a complete ignorance to basic personal grooming. Tartif, accompanied, as the end credits roll, a burst through the walls of the stage as the ones and zeros continue their mating. /. Gregory N. Springles narrates. Inuits from the city flock around like penguins with excellent dance choreography celebrating life and the many totem figure collections on their stead. Ho 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 he ho. Ho is a polite reply more of less. Ho 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 he ho 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 is a polite reply more of less. Ho ho a o ho ho a o e ho he ho a o yo. He oh ho 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 your crystalline seal creeps into your hearing. How did you love him when you did ultimately / could be the answer in D minor. He loves you. 2. Beautiful move. Remind me to create you as my son in the next production.
The end. The end. Amazing. That was lovely.